one of my favorite comedies of all time. It's directed by one of my favorite directors, Andrew L. Stone, which I learned of his wonderful career through this movie. And the movie is called Hi Diddle Diddle. And Erlich will tell you, not the most inspiring title.
My wife is a very prominent woman.
Your what?
Well, yes, I was married 6 months ago to an opera singer, Genya Smetana.
Well, I never knew you were that fond of music.
Yes, it must have been the music.
Of course, you know she's second-hand, but she hasn't been used much.
Huh?
The car. Oh, the last guy had her, took excellent care of her. Hardly a mark on her.
Oh, swell.
Oh, there's a few scratches here and there and a cigarette burn on her back seat.
The car?
The car.
It stars Adolph Menjou, Dennis O'Keefe from Brewster's Millions, which is also public domain. Martha Scott from Three Cheers for Mrs. Bishop, which is also public domain. And June Havoc and Billy Burke and the great Pola Negri, who is one of the magnificent silent actresses of her day. But to me, she's Genya Smetana in Hi Diddle Diddle. Every time I've seen some of her silent films, it's Genya Smetana.
You like my singing? That's why you brought me the floral offering, is that it?
Oh, no, honey, I got better uses for my dough.
Well,
so long.
just to tell you what we think of you, Genya. The management. I'm faded, am I? I'm finished. I stink. Send for the manager.
She's always Genya Smetana, as far as I'm concerned. It's been one of my favorite movies since then. The minute I got it on video cassette, which I found when I was working at Video Archives, and I showed it to a bunch of the employees, and they loved it. And because I had it back when that was a thing to have it, because this was public domain, but it was one of those things that was on a bunch of different video labels. I watched it again and again and again. So like I know every line by heart, beyond the beyond. It's just one of my favorite comedies of all time. Now, one of the things about the movie that should kill it in the water is the fact that, one, it's a gag comedy, and two, that it's a gag comedy set up about a specific time. And the time is during the war. For a movie made during the war, it's extremely hip. It is exactly what you mean by a hip movie that is talking about things that are happening in the public consciousness in the public time right now. What the movie is it goes from one gag-filled, hysterical, meta set piece to another, to another, to another, to another. And each one of them is funnier than the last. But what's really important about the movie is you have this magnificent cast of characters, but each one of those set pieces slightly more acclimates the audience to the movie that they're watching. And so each set piece is appreciated more the way it's given, because you kind of understand the movie a little bit more by that point. And then the next set piece happens, and now you understand the movie a little bit more, and now it's even funnier. And now the movie's even more clever. And now it's even better. And now the set pieces are standing even more on their own. And then the more it goes, the more you're on board with the film, and the more you get exactly the sense of humor, the more you get the author's voice. It literally is an author's voice. The more you get the author's voice. And by the time it gets to the climax, it's impossible for me to love a movie more than I love this one. I've invested my life watching this movie, and I just really, really love it. And I think it's very, very funny. And I think it's one of the most auteurist movies ever made, because I feel the director talking to me constantly. I mean, it's like as if the director is on screen, talking to you through the movie, to some degree. Now, that's me, who has spent my whole fucking life watching this movie.
Well, there must be something you'd like to try.
I know, a Mickey Finn.
Mickey Finn. I'll be back.
Oh, He did a double take like in the movies.
That's right.
I wonder if it's hard to do.
No, it's this way, isn't it?
More like this, isn't it?
Oh, that's splendid. You try it, dear.
Nothing to it at all.
I think it's one of the great classic moments of cinema. The fact that it's absolutely meta funny on its own. But then when she sees her husband with a woman across the room and she gives a real double take. That's what's not in the Zucker Brothers movies. And I'm not putting them down, but those great gags don't connect to that moment. Andrew Elstone is, to me, one of the greats. And by the way, that final shot of all the characters, of all the live characters, and then the animation in the walls doing everything. And I mean, oh my God, that's one of the greatest moments ever. You have to build up to that moment, but you do. It's just terrific. A sequence that I don't think spoils anything in the movie, that highlights the set pieces that are in the film that I think are fucking amazing, is amongst the characters in the film are Adolph Menjou and his con man crew, which includes June Havoc. And June Havoc is fantastic in this movie. So they get to a bar to discuss this con job that they have to pull. And they get to the bar, and inside the bar is a Soundie Machine. Soundies were the music videos of their day. They were shot, and the idea was there was a machine like a jukebox in a tavern, and you put a dime in the Soundie Machine, and a 16mm projector at the bottom of this machine would play into a mirror, which would reflect into the screen. So all the Soundie 16mm films had to be backwards because you were seeing it through a mirror. And what happened was a little music video of the day. So the Mills Brothers singing, I have a paper doll to call my own, or Francis Langford singing this, or somebody else singing that. So the character, Leslie Quayle, is the name of June Havoc's character, walks in. There's a Soundie Machine in the tavern. You're like, wow, I love that.
Remind me to get one of those in my bathroom.
Nice quiet spot, this.
And then sets down, and then they have their scene. And then somebody puts a coin into the Soundie Machine. And then you see the credits pop up, and it says Leslie Quayle singing The Man with the Big Sombrero. And then the movie becomes the Soundie, as the film focuses in on the screen, of a video of June Havoc's character singing the song The Man with the Big Sombrero. And so we watch it for a while, and then it cuts out, and then there's an instrumental part, and then June Havoc joins in, and she dances around the bar, and everyone's having a good time. And then the last whole verse of the song is heard next to the Soundie Machine, finishing the song as a little version of her in the video on the Soundie Machine is finishing the song. And they sing it in unison. And then they finish along, the man with the big sombrero, no bigger than his heart.
This man with the big sombrero, no bigger than his heart.
Oh my God. If the movie only had that scene, if that was the only good sequence in the movie, that would be enough to put it on this list. And that movie means so much to me.